What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest robot vacuums from Ecovacs. This is also one of the most innovative and most advanced robot vacuums that Ecovacs has made so far. So what we have here today, it's called the Ecovacs Deebot T30S AI. This is also part of the Deebot T30S family, and I've actually done another video for one of these models about a month or 2 months ago. However, I will leave a link to that video in the video's description or the top right corner if you wanna check it out. Some of the key features for this model are the true edge adaptive edge mopping. We also have an insane suction power of 11,000 Pascal and of course the zero tangle technology. Now I'm not sure how well you can actually see this brush on the camera. Here I'll add some b-roll so you can see it better. But this is basically how the brush at the bottom here looks after the vacuum has been cleaning my house for about a week. So literally no hair stuck on this brush. With a lot of other vacuums that are available on the market, you do get a lot of hair stuck on this brush. Well, that's not the case with this one. So no hair stuck on this brush. So you're not gonna have to clean that brush constantly every couple of days. This model also has enhanced AI capabilities. That's why the name, the T30S AI. And of course, in the box, you're also gonna get the all-in-one station. Now, the all-in-one station is a bit too big to have right here next to me on the desk. So I'll just show you some b-roll of that all-in-one station. And I guess we might as well start talking about that all-in-one station first. So the all-in-one station has 2 water tanks at the top, one for clean water, you're basically gonna have to fill that one up with clean water, and one for dirty water. So all the dirty water from washing the mops will go in that dirty water tank. And if you actually check out the color of that water, well, you're gonna be impressed how dirty your floors are throughout the house. So quite dark in some situations, that water. Now the all-in-one station also uses 70 degrees Celsius hot water to wash those mops, and of course whenever the vacuum is done a cleaning cycle, it will also dry those mops with hot air. Very important. The base plate of that all-in-one station is also removable, so every so often you may want to remove that and wash it separately so there is nothing stuck at the bottom there. Now, this all-in-one station also has a dust bag. So this is a 3-liter dust bag that should give you about 60 days without you actually having to change it or anything like that. So whenever the vacuum is done a cleaning cycle or whenever the dustbin inside the vacuum is full, the vacuum will basically go back to that all-in-one station and it will empty itself out. This also has Ecovacs voice assistant called YIKO. I did turn this off, so it's not gonna get activated. So basically you can say, okay, YIKO, and then give the robot vacuum commands. And these are a couple of examples of things that you could tell the robot vacuum. However, there is a long list that you can actually say. So let me play those 2 recordings. Okay, YIKO.
I'm listening.
Vacuum the kitchen.
Okay, the area will be vacuumed now.
Okay, YIKO.
I'm here.
Go home.
Okay, back to station.
Next, we are talking about the suction power and of course the zero tangle technology. So the vacuum has a suction power of 11,000 pascals. So it doesn't really matter what's on the floor. It doesn't matter if the vacuum is going over hard floors or over carpets. Whatever you're gonna have on the floor, whenever the vacuum goes over it, it will be able to pick it up even if it's larger particles. That zero tangle technology basically allows you to have all the hair go straight into the vacuum. So if you have long hair at home, now personally I don't have that much hair, but Laura does have longer hair, and with a lot of vacuums that I tried, there is a lot of hair stuck on this brush. As you can see here, there is really no hair stuck on this brush. So I love this because I don't have to take this out every couple of days to clean it. So basically anything that you're gonna have on the floor, the vacuum will be able to pick it up basically because we have a lot of suction power and all the hair will not be stuck on this brush. So very important. Now, as you've probably noticed by now, we also have the mops at the bottom here. So if the vacuum is set on a vacuuming and mopping session, let's say, and it reaches carpets, these mops will actually lift up so the vacuum knows not to mop your carpets. So the mops will lift up every time the vacuum gets to carpets, and whenever it's off the carpets will come down and of course will mop once again. So you don't have to worry about your carpets getting wet or stuff left on the carpets. The vacuum is able to pick up everything because of that crazy suction power. In case you are wondering where all that dirt goes before it ends up in the all-in-one station, so this top plate is removable. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this on the camera, but here we basically have our dustbin and the filter. Every so often you will have to replace that filter as well, but basically all the dirt gets in here, and whenever the vacuum is full, we'll go back to that all-in-one station and it will empty itself out, or whenever it's done a cleaning session, it will empty itself out, depending on the situation and how much dirt you have around the house. But basically that's where our dirt goes. Another one of my favorite features for this model is the True Edge Adaptive Edge Mopping. So first of all, at the bottom here, you've probably noticed by now, we have two mop brushes, let's call them, or mop pads. So these basically spin at 180 revolutions per minute, and they also put pressure on the floor. But what this vacuum does different compared to a lot of vacuums available on the market, this one is actually able to extend one of the mop brushes here, or mop pads here, and basically reach the edges of the walls, the edges around chair legs. Basically, it can get everywhere. With a lot of vacuums, when they pass by the wall, you basically have about this much space where the brushes cannot reach. Well, that's not the case with this vacuum anymore, because one of the mop pads here actually extends out and it's actually able to touch the edge of the wall. So all the way to the wall there. That's, again, something that doesn't happen with most of these robot vacuums, and you typically get this much space between the robot cleaner and any edge, any obstacle on the floor. Well, that's not the case with this one. This one is able to reach everywhere with that extending mop pad. Since the vacuum also puts a lot of pressure on the floor with those mop plates, it's also able to remove stains from the floor, because if it just passes lightly on the floor and you have a stain, it's not going to remove it. But that's not the case with this one, because it puts pressure on the floor as well. It is able to remove stains from the floor as well. And that brings us to the enhanced AI capabilities of this model. So let me give you an example of what the vacuum can do. So let's say that you spilled some milk on the floor or some coffee or whatever. The vacuum is on a cleaning cycle, and of course it will notice that stain on the floor. So it knows how to go over that area multiple times, so you can actually clean that. And as soon as it notices that stain, it will also get the mops here wetter, so it can clean that easier and better. Something that doesn't typically happen with a lot of vacuums. They just go over one area, they don't know what's on the floor. Well, that's not the case with this one. So this one actually notices stains or any other mess that there is on the floor. This will also be able to spot, let's say that you have a pet and the pet had an accident at home. So if there is a pet mess on the floor, it's not gonna go over that and spread it throughout your house. So it will notice that and it will avoid it. The same also goes for other obstacles that you may have throughout the house. So of course, it's not gonna get stuck when it goes on a cleaning cycle if you forgot something on the floor. So very important, because with a lot of vacuums, you basically start a cleaning cycle and 2 hours later you come back home and the vacuum is actually stuck on something. Well, that's not the case with this vacuum anymore. So having AI obstacle avoidance on this robot vacuum is a very useful feature, because this way the vacuum will not get stuck on objects that you may have on the floor throughout the house. And of course, aside from having all these cameras, all these sensors on the front here that are used for obstacle avoidance, the vacuum also has a LiDAR navigation system. So as soon as you first set this up at your home, so this is connected to your home's Wi-Fi network, it will basically go around the house and it will map out your entire house. Once it's done mapping out your entire house, you can actually see the map in the app there. So you can just send the vacuum to one room, for example, or one area from the app. It really depends what you want the vacuum to clean. But basically the vacuum knows exactly where it is at all times. It knows where it has to go, and it knows how to go back to the all-in-one station to clean itself or to empty itself out, or whenever it's running low on power, it will go back and recharge. So it knows how to do everything. You don't really have to do much with this. You basically have to put that clean water at the top there and empty that dirty water container every so often. The vacuum does pretty much everything else all by itself. Now, because I mentioned the app and this camera that we have on the front of the robot vacuum, you can actually view that camera through the app. And for privacy reasons, as soon as someone is actually viewing that camera through the app, there will be a light on the robot vacuum, so everybody knows that someone is accessing that camera. And the robot will also say that someone is using that camera. So if you're concerned about privacy, you will know if someone is actually watching that camera.
Live video has started.
So to quickly conclude this video, if you're tired of cleaning after your vacuum, because as we all know, with a lot of vacuums, you always have to do the edges throughout the house, you have to clean that brush, you have to clean those mops. If you're tired of cleaning after your robot vacuum, well, look no further, because with this one, you don't have to do any of that. The vacuum knows how to do everything. It will clean up those tough stains as well. It will avoid things throughout the house. So a vacuum that you don't really have to do much, just put that, fill up that clean water tank with water and empty that dirty water tank every so often. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is also part of the Deebot T30S family. So if you're looking for a more basic cleaning, there is the T30S, there is also the T30S combo, and that's the one that I've made the video for, and you can find the link to that in the video's description. And this one, the T30S AI, is definitely the most advanced out of the lineup because of the enhanced AI capabilities. So as always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check these out. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.